Hey, Rick St. John with Castle Rock Burgers. And today we're going to be in our food trailer and we're going to be doing a rotisserie chicken. So here I have a large pan with a pan liner, and I like to use those for convenience. Here I've got a chicken and I'm going to open that. Now, whenever I do this, I use a scissors opening the plastic bag. I do not use a knife. It's a great way to dull and ruin a good knife. So here, as I go ahead and open up this chicken, I want to try to preserve as much juice in that or in the original bag as possible, and keep my pan liner. There will be some juice get in there, but I'm going to want to keep that fairly nice. So first I'll go ahead and take all the insides out of the cavity, whether that be the neck and gizzard and heart and things like that. So here I'm taking it out, and I have most of the juices preserved inside the bag. And once I get that out, I'm going to go ahead and look over the chicken. I'm going to take any pin feathers or things that may be on it off. I'm also going to cut the neck out. That's important for me to do that. It helps the heat get down in the chicken from the rotisserie as well. It opens up that part of the cavity. All those insides, I will save all those and freeze them. And when I go to make a chicken stock, I'll use that. So again, I'll clean up the chicken on the outside and make sure there's no feathers and things like that. And I lay all that stuff to the side. Once I do that, I'm going to want to go ahead and pat the chicken dry, and I'll use a paper towel for that. Be sure to get under the wings and the back of the chicken really well, because it's going to, there's a lot of moisture in those chickens when they're sitting in those bags. So you'll want to do the inside of the cavity as well. And once you have all that done, take the insides, put them in a plastic bag. You can freeze them and use them later for a chicken stock. It's excellent for that. Now we'll go ahead and we're going to get our pan cleaned up. We're going to go ahead and change the liner, because with the other chicken, I'm going to go ahead and lay it down in there. So I don't want any of that old juice. Now, I do not wash my chickens. I see people do that from time to time. It's not really recommended to do that. You can actually provide more contamination to the chicken doing that. I just pat them dry and move forward with my seasoning and stuff. So here I'll get the pan liner, and I love these pan liners. These are fantastic. In a food trailer, they save a tremendous amount of time and water. Remember, you have limited water supply in a food trailer, but even so, it really cuts down the amount of time you spend cleaning and washing pans. So here I'm going to go ahead and put some oil on the chicken. Typically I'll use an olive oil or something like that, and I'll rub that in really good. And this works really good if your chicken is cold. You don't want the chicken warm. I take it right out of the refrigerator when it's cold, and I get the oil on there pretty quick. It'll help your seasonings really stick to the chicken very nicely. So here I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do the back side of the chicken now. Some people season the inside of the chicken. I don't typically do that. There's enough seasoning on the outside that it provides a good flavor throughout the chicken. But it's up to you. If that's something you want to do, by all means, go ahead and do it. It's your project. So here, when I go ahead and put on my seasoning, this is my own Cajun seasoning. I like to stay 6 to 8 inches above the chicken or anything that I'm seasoning, so that you get a nice even spread. You don't want a big clump of seasoning going in one spot. Not only does it waste seasoning, but nobody wants to bite into that. So I'll get a nice even spread of seasoning over the entire chicken. If the chicken is big enough, you can put your hand inside the cavity and rotate it around. It works quite nice to do that. So here I'm doing the back side. And again, nice, even spread of seasoning. Once your chicken is fully seasoned, go ahead and tuck the wings behind the chicken. This is a nice way to keep the wings from getting, the wingtips from getting burnt, and also you don't want them flopping around inside there. I don't typically tie my chickens with string and stuff. It's up to you if you want to do that. So here I have the rotisserie stand, the wire rack, stainless steel, works very nice. I sit the chicken on there. Again, the wing pop loose will get it tucked back in there. It looks just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and touch up the top part with some more of that fantastic Cajun seasoning. We do our own seasonings here at Castle Rock Burgers. We don't use anything out of the box. I don't use any specific seasonings. I do all my own seasonings. I really think that's, for me, it's the best way to get the flavor that you want, rather than putting the flavor that somebody else has pre-made. So here we have this is a Franklin Chef vertical rotisserie. I love this machine. This is fantastic. The chicken goes in, it fits right on a little square tab in there, and it goes up to 120 minutes. Now this is about a 6.5 pound chicken, so I turn it to about 120 minutes, and I'll check it periodically. Within an hour, I'll check it with a timer to see, or temperature to see if it's up to temp. I like my rotisserie chickens to be about 190. That's where I like them to be. And there we see the finished product, and you see I like to use cooling racks in my full-size pans like what you see here. It helps keep the chicken up off of the solid part of the pan, and so that any fat and everything drip down in there. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Castle Rock Burgers, we're located in Creighton, Nebraska.